Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm writing to what should we learn from Bhagwan Krishna's Leela? Bhagwan Krishna. Is is Bhagwan a title or is that the first name of Krishna? Leela is the play, the Maya, essentially. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. Although I will say it accidentally played and the echo startled me for a second, as in like I was a bit surprised. I thought it wasn't playing in my ear. But anyways, is Bhagwan the first name? I'm not sure. Or it seems more like a title because I hear him say Bhagwan a lot. Krishna, I don't know if it means is there the one and only Krishna or is there other Krishnas? I know it can be used as a name, I believe. Then Leela, I do believe it to be the play that's happening, the Maya. Let's go and get started.
Friends, this point yesterday also I mentioned, today also we have to really digest this point. It is easier to digest the failure in life, but to digest success is very difficult.
Whoa, really? I'd say it's harder to digest failure than success. Success, there's not much to digest because you did it right. But the reason why I would say failure is harder to digest because a lot of people cannot accept failure, even when they fail, and don't learn from their failures. That's the reason why it's hard to digest, but I'm curious to see why he says this.
When we succeed, we start thinking that we are someone extraordinary. My friends, spiritual life is not becoming extraordinary. Spiritual life is remaining ordinary. Do we have something extra less in us? We have got so much of extra, right from extra fat onwards.
Real quick with a statement there. So there's a couple of ways you can look at least for me, about the extra ordinary. So I guess the way I look at it is like even if you are amazing in life, you can still be humble. People will see you as that, as an amazing person because you do good things in life, donate to charity, help people who are in need, and they'll see you as an amazing person. Whereas there's and then you remain humble with that. You say no, this is just something I do. I don't need any extra or whatever. You don't accept I guess compliments or thanks. It's like this is something that needs to be done. Versus someone else who done something successful and then wants to be great. So it's kind of a two ways of looking at that. So you can be the arrogant person who says yes, praise me for what I did. Then you have the humble person who, which is more than likely like a lot of these swamis and gurus who do these great things, but they don't really care for the the I don't know the limelight or the spotlight on them, because they see it as just doing good in the world.
See? So many extra. I am man, I am woman, I am Indian, I am not Indian, I am Gujarati, I am Dakshini, I am North Indian. See? How many extras are there? In addition to that, I am spiritual. And when we have a burden on our head, can we be relaxed? We will be constantly under tension. And therefore, Arjuna's character tells us, Arjuna became extraordinary. Never think that we are someone extraordinary. See? When we become extraordinary, what happens? We are caught up in two things, honor and dishonor. See? Then such people demand respect. See? Like many places you must have seen. Now youngsters are youngsters, children are children. But the elders have that thing. These days, the children don't respect the elders. Because elders are extraordinary. And what is extraordinary in them? Do they have two horns and a tail? What is their contribution becoming grown up? But then we start condemning the youngsters and demanding respect from them because we are extraordinary. Friends,
I don't know how the adults are extraordinary. I'll say this though, ordinary. You have ordinary, right? And you have extraordinary. It's like sugar. You have extra sugar. It makes it more sweet, but it's still sugar. It doesn't make. It's just like more sugar, more of the ordinary. But extraordinary, of course, usually means above ordinary. But I must miss the part where why are the parents extraordinary? And I get the idea that kids, even in the United States, are you know, I mean, oof, anyways, and the lack of respect for their parents. Honestly, that is a big thing going on over here too.
whenever we get hurt, whenever we get insulted, it is the height of ego. See? More easily we get hurt, stronger is the ego. Less easily we get hurt, less is the ego. Bhagwan has no ego and therefore he never gets hurt.
That's a really interesting way to say that too. I don't know if a lot of people will think about it that way. I understand that, but him saying it just makes me realize that more. Like the fact that when you have no attachments to the world or no ego, and essentially what he's talking about here, that you can't get hurt even if people insult you because you have no ego to insult. It's really weird to think that big ego means easily insulted.
When Bhagwan Krishna was small, playing in Gokul, he was eating the soil. So the gopis complained to Yashoda Maya, see, your son is eating soil. So Maya became angry and she came and caught hold of him and said, oh God, you are eating soil? Were you a pig in the last life? Now imagine, you call your child a pig, how angry he will become. Bhagwan Krishna didn't become angry because he knew he was the avatar, Varaha avatar. He said, yes, I was that. See, friends, ego is binding ourselves in the limits of time and space. See?
Oh, okay. I'll say this, excuse me. This is another thing that helps me reduce my ego, I guess you could say. It's understanding. And whenever someone that doesn't know me insults me, how can they when they don't know me? They're just coming up with things to try to hurt me. So if that helps you out with, like, if you have a problem with people insulting you and you get hurt, offended easily, if they don't know you, they have no ammunition against you. So that's one way of me looking, like, if especially on in the internet or whatever, like people who don't know, in the streets too. I mean, no one has really, but has no one? No, I'm sure there's some has. But again, if they don't know me, then their words are meaningless if they try to insult me because they don't know me. I mean, how can you insult someone you don't know? You can throw insults, and the whole point of them throwing insults is to hurt you. So if you or offend you and hurt you. So if you do get insulted, you get offended, and you get hurt, they did exactly what they want you to do. Get hurt. So if you get hurt, you fell for it. You gave them what they wanted. So they won. So there's another way of looking at that. Is the fact that if you get hurt by the insults, then they've won. They did exactly what they wanted to do. Are you going to let them do that? That's just a couple of ways to look at, like, if random people try to insult you or whatever, like, you don't know me, so I don't care what you have to say. If they're being insulting, of course. But if they're being genuine, like, not insulting, of course, but just giving you, hopefully, constructive criticism, then, it might be worth hearing. But, it's whatever. If you want to take it in, that's fine. If you don't, then you don't. So if those also helps anyone out there, how I look at random people insulting, whether that be on the internet, just against strangers, regardless of where it's coming from. Now, if you have friends or whatever, then it's a bit hurtful because they do know you, and If this is not typical of them, then clearly something somewhere went wrong. And I think that's the time for discussion for the person. Hopefully you can reconcile. And again, you still don't have to get hurt because you're like, what's going on? There's something, clearly there's something wrong. If you know it, then you know it. But if you don't, and they're just doing this way, then clearly something went wrong somewhere, and a discussion should be had. Therapy. No, as in what I'm doing right now. Anyways, that's my reaction to what we should learn from Bhagwan Krishna Leela. The fact is not to have an ego. The least of an ego that you have, the least likely you are to be hurt. The bigger the ego that you have, well, you're gonna get hurt really, really easy. You're very fragile in terms of your emotions. Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing and thumbs up the sign down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.